Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of This Week in College Football by CFB Talk Daily. I'm here with my co-host, Sonny. Thank you for joining me.
What is up, John?
What's going on? So, we have a lot to talk about this week. First off, this game's been going pretty viral on TikTok. Do you use TikTok, Sonny?
No, I am not a social media guy at all. I
Uh,
despise social media and pretty much everything that goes into it. So, no, I have never been on TikTok and I have no intentions of joining.
okay, that's what I thought. It's like Chinese spyware anyway. But
I
this
sound like
game,
such a boomer saying that, by the way.
no, it's honestly good. You're more productive without it. Anyway, the developers of this game reached out to the X We Can Make a Video with it too. I played it before that. Um, so Sonny, you have to try to go 15-0. So I'll do one first, so you can see.
Yes, and John, as a matter of fact, not to rub it in, but if you remember, within about 5 minutes of you sending me
Oh yeah,
this
you got it.
video, I got it.
Yeah. Oh, Philip Rivers, definitely. Maybe I get all of his kids too. At quarterback. Mike Allstott, flex. He'd be an electric flex. Oh, Northwestern. We have to change the team here. Charles Rogers. CD Lamb. Oh, this is a great team. Bear Bryant.
Wow.
What a
Wow.
team. What a team. I don't think Iowa State has a good era. David Montgomery.
Oh. Iowa
Oh my
State's.
god. Oh
Oh.
my god. Look at this team. Philip Rivers, David Montgomery.
That's actually a pretty solid team. I'm impressed with this.
Iowa State fans may not be so happy.
No, they're not. Neither are Penn State fans. Iowa State's best era was with Penn State's current coach. You
Oh.
just pissed off two fan bases in one shot. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, that was an impressive one. All right, so now we'll each do one, and then we'll debate whose team was better.
All
All right,
right.
do
Let's
you
see what
want
we
to go
got.
first? Or you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
All right, here we go.
Now, bear with me a minute because I am a little bit blurry on my end from where we're at. Mississippi State of the 80s. I don't like any of this, but I'll take Cooks. Why not?
I tried to zoom in a little bit for you.
Yeah, that's a little better.
All right.
Michigan. Oh, yeah, we're going to take Bo. Bo Schembechler.
All right.
Wow.
That's a pretty solid start.
It is. Woof.
So you could change the team, the conference, or the era once.
So for those who are listening to the podcast that can't see this, I have Arizona of the 90s. Dick Tomey would be a very interesting choice had I not just taken my coach. I am going to respin the team.
All right. Yeah, I forgot for the audio podcast. This may not be the best one.
And Oregon of the 90s, also another one.
You could do the era though.
Yeah, we're going to have to do the era here. If I can get 2000s or 2010s.
Oh, that's not bad.
I feel like, okay, so this is Oregon of the 2020s. I feel like I could do better than Bo Nix, but I'm going to take him anyways.
All right, so we're taking Bo Nix, even though you don't think he's the best option. But you never know. Up to the wheel. Ooh, Indiana of the 70s.
Indiana of the 70s, we're going to respin the conference. Washington,
Oh, that would have been
good
so
Lord.
good.
Good
Warren
Lord.
Moon.
Washington to the 70s, we're going to have to go Joe Steele at running back.
Husky Russian King. Flex or running back?
Running back.
All right. So you need three
So
receivers. Oh, that ain't bad.
Yeah, but Texas to the 2010s, yeah, Deontay Foreman, I guess. I hate going chalk all up at the top, but
Yeah.
oof.
Oh boy.
Oh my God, Arizona State of the 90s. This is brutal. Yeah, Keith Poole by default
It's the
because
only
there's
option.
nobody else I can take.
Oh. Well, that's not...
Minnesota the 2020s. I will happily take Rashad Bateman. I think Rashad Bateman was an excellent receiver.
Disrespected in 82, I feel like.
Oh, definitely.
11-4.
I do not think this is an 11-4 team, by the way.
No, I don't think so either. But I'm gonna leave that one up so we can still see yours after. So we talk about this. All right, my spin. Here we go. Blank. Nothing on the board. Oh, what a start!
Oh, come on!
What a start! We get Barry Sanders. What a start! I've never heard of Mo Gardner, but two-time consensus All-American tackle. Sign me up.
It's a great defender.
Ooh. So just call me crazy here. Ole Miss of the '90s. Let's respin the era.
I think that's a good call.
Oh,
Okay.
Arch Manning and Barry Sanders in the
The
backfield.
original Arch Manning, not
Oh yeah,
Texas
yeah,
Arch Manning, Archie Manning.
yeah. Yeah, this is 60 years before this Arch Manning.
We're going OG here.
Houston. Let's respin the conference. See what else we can get. Oh my God, we got Sean Alexander as well.
I don't know if I agree with that pick.
Oh, well, it might be over here anyway. We're gonna respin the team. Oh, let's go. Dabo Sweeney of the 2020s.
I wouldn't want Dabo Swinney of the 2020s. I'd want him of the 2010s.
That's true, but the run has just ended anyway. 1990s Kentucky. We're gonna take Craig Yeast. Oh, that way. It's over. Oh man,
Oh!
how is this team 9-6? I mean, I guess because we can't throw the ball, but
Wow,
that's
you
so
are
good.
a power run team with absolutely no threat at receiver.
Yeah, no, yeah, we have Sean Alexander and Barry Sanders, a good quarterback, but no one can catch the ball. Your team more well balanced. I mean, I don't know much about Joe Steele, but it says it's pretty solid.
I mean, I would say an all-time leading rusher for a not a blue blood program, but a legacy program, right? I'll take that.
Yeah, that's true. Do you want to do one more where we can just compete for the leaderboard? We'll collaborate on it.
Okay, I'm in.
All right, let's do it. Perfect team. Here we go. We'll do classic. Ball nowhere is crazy. It doesn't even show you their stats. You just have to know
Yes.
ball. But like I don't know that much ball. I'm afraid. All right, here we go. Spin number
Okay.
one. Oh, ooh. Cow of the 2020s.
I feel like I would want to respin the era and hope for Javid Best.
Ooh, Aaron Rodgers, Marshawn. Oh, perfect. What do you want to do here?
Oh man, I would I would lean toward Marshawn Lynch over Aaron Rodgers. This is Cal of the 2000s. I would lean for Lynch because you can still get another running back that's better than him, but you have that option to add someone better than him. Whereas if you take Aaron Rodgers, you know, so I would put him at running back.
All right, so we have Marshawn Lynch as our running back. That's a good start. I think I agree with that. Oh, that is
Yeah,
perfect.
Nebraska the 70s. You got to take Johnny Rodgers.
Johnny Rodgers. Right, that's a good start so far. We have Marshawn Lynch and Johnny Rodgers. Ooh.
Louisiana Tech of the 90s. Okay, now hear me out on this. You want to respin the team because they're independent. So you could
True.
get Notre Dame. Notre Dame of the 90s is going to bring a lot of top talent to your team. And you get UCF.
I feel like we could do worse than Dante Culpepper. I think.
We could also do significantly better. I would not do that. I hate to do it, but respin the conference.
Yep. Oh
And we end
man.
up with Charles Woodson on defense.
All right, that is a great respin.
It's about time it works in our favor.
Oh
Auburn
my.
of the 80s. Now we're going to take Bo Jackson.
This
See,
team
things
is
are starting to fall our
insane,
way.
and it could do worse.
I know. I would go with Ryan Switzer.
All right, Ryan
Call me
Switzer
crazy.
over Mitch.
Is it worth it? You
Oh
get Dabo at coach
yeah, I think we
again.
take Dabo. I don't want Cade Klubnik on this team.
See, now we're screwed because no matter who we take at quarterback, we have to take this person. And it's Jaden Daniels.
Oh, we
That's
are not screwed. Oh no
how
way!
is this 14-1?
This team is so good.
This is an elite team in college football right here.
Jaden Daniels, Marshall. This team would be unbelievable. By the way,
And two, this is one of the teams that would be good in the NFL also. Most of these guys went on to really good NFL careers too.
yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't know too much about. I mean, I know he was a Heisman winner, but I don't know too much about his NFL career. And I know Ryan Switzer like recently retired.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe like a year or
Wow.
two ago.
So 14-1 is definitely a good start.
Yeah, no, that is a good start. Now, moving on to another one of our topics. So I posted something last week. Sonny texted me immediately and said, "I have big problems with this."
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So why don't you tell the people what I have big problems with?
So this was my top 10 group of five coaches list. I do want to say, number one, Dan Mullen. Thanks for the love.
Yeah,
But
that was pretty cool.
yeah. But you said big problem. Some other people had some big problems too. One person, the consensus where I think you may also have a problem, is that a lot of people were not happy that where did it go? That Jim Mora was not on the list.
Yeah, I don't have Jim Mora on mine either.
Oh, all right. We're just gonna piss everyone off. We're gonna redo it and still leave them off.
Yes. Yeah, I don't have I originally did, and I switched him out for somebody else. So we'll get to that. First of all, I do take great issue with your list and not only the people on it but the placement on it. But with that said, I do want to say that it is not even really worth a debate. I agree with you. Dan Mullen is number one.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Now, here's where we get into some trouble, John.
Some
Okay?
trouble.
Some trouble. Okay? Because your number two is Jeff Monken from Army,
Uh huh.
who is no doubt a very, very, very good coach. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
He's not in my top 10.
What?
Yes. I know that's crazy. He's not in my top 10.
It's
As a
not
matter
crazy. It's blasphemy.
as a matter of fact, John, your number 3, Jason Eck, is also not in my top 10.
Oh. Okay, I could see that though, because he's very new.
He is, but that's not necessarily why, although I guess looking at my list, maybe that does play a little part into it. Your number 5 is not on my list, GJ Kinney of Texas State.
Oh boy.
I think he is a quick up and coming coach. But right now I don't think he's in the top 10.
Okay.
Here's the one that really just like made my head explode as I was reading this. I need an explanation. How in the world do you have Casey Keeler at number 6?
Okay. So here's where I'll go with Casey Keeler. I think his body of work speaks. He's a great coach. It may not show with his record so far at the Group of Five level, but I think pure coaching. If I had to make a hiring list, these are the guys I'd be looking at for a school.
Okay, and that's fair. And I knew that was the argument we were going to go with, and I came prepared. He was 5-7 last year, which at Temple, that's not bad. But if you're going to go with the argument of body of work,
Mm-hmm.
how can you have him on the list at that record and not Matt Entz? How is
True.
Matt Entz not on your top 10?
True, and I'm sure you know the Matt End story as well.
Do
Do
I?
you not? So when he got fired, when he not got fired, when he left North Dakota State, I googled Matt Entz because I honestly I didn't really know much about him besides he was the North Dakota State head coach, right? And his phone
Mm-hmm.
number was listed on the website for recruiting purposes. So I called him and he
Oh.
answered. Yeah,
so,
he answered.
so you make a top 10 list of your group of 4 coaches, group of 5, whatever it is now, and you don't even include your good friend Matt Entz.
Well, all right, good friend is a stretch. He said, "Hello, Matt Entz," and then I got stage fright and hung up.
You couldn't even complete the phone call?
I couldn't even get a word out. I thought it was gonna go to like a secretary or like a voicemail, and he picked right up and was like, "Hello, Matt Entz."
John, if you're making that phone call, dude, you got to just full commit. You
Yeah.
got to commit.
No, yeah, I definitely need to. What do you think of Jason Candle though? You're okay with that being four?
Jason Candle, I have number 6 on my list.
Okay, so four
And
is not outrageous.
there's a part of me that doesn't understand why he left to go to UConn. I think it's a ridiculous move. UConn does not give a crap about football. They use football to fund basketball. And then I realized something. Jason Candle hadn't been at Toledo for many years. finally getting a chance to, I guess, move up. But is he playing the long game here? Is he going to the New England region because he's waiting for either Rutgers or Boston College to open up after this season? Is he trying to get his feet wet in that area for recruiting for a shot at one of those two jobs? And then all of a sudden it made all the sense in the world why he would go to UConn.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he was pretty stable at Toledo.
He was, and it's not like going from Toledo to UConn is a huge upgrade. In
No.
fact, I might even consider it a downgrade.
Yeah, I think so. Because I mean, Toledo's pretty solid where they are. I think he's their winningest coach in their program's history. But you're right. Going to UConn is a lateral move. Most would say.
I don't even think it's lateral. I think it's a downgrade.
All right, a lateral move at best. You can't
Yes.
say it's an upgrade.
Yes, I would agree.
All right, Spencer Danielson.
Spencer Danielson is my number 2.
Okay.
3 years at Boise State, 3 conference championships. We forget because last year started kind of rough for Boise.
Mm-hmm.
We forget that they ended up winning the Mountain West last year and are in excellent position to win the Pac-12 this year. So to come into a program like Boise and take it over and maintain not a level of success, because their level of success, they want to be in New Year's Six bowls in the college football playoff. But 3 conference titles in a row, that's hard to ignore.
No, definitely. You right. Make a good point.
And then at number 3, I have a guy who, again, I cannot believe you don't have on your list, especially for going body of work. How is Bronco Mendenhall not on your list?
Yeah, he probably should be on here. He should probably be at 8.
He should absolutely be on there.
Yeah, he should be.
Another guy who I don't understand how he's not on your list because of the stuff he's done, Chuck Martin, Miami, Ohio. He's brought that program back. They weren't doing too hot before he got there. He just took Miami, Ohio to their first conference championship since, 1964, 65? He's been there for 11 years. He's the face of stability in the MAC.
True. All right, what do you have at 9 and 10?
I'm just waiting for you to stick up for yourself here. That's what I'm waiting for.
Whoa! I'm gonna defend myself. I'm gonna defend myself. Like, okay, so for Mullen, like I said, you clear cut number 1. Monken I have at 2 because I believe the resources they get at Army are not the best, and the recruiting restrictions. I think how consistent he's had that program, it's harder than a lot of these other jobs. I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Eck, like I said, he's new, but I was very impressed by last season. Candle, like I said, winning his coach in Toledo history, no qualms there. GJ Kidd, Texas State is rolling, brother.
I just feel like it's a little too soon for him to be on the list. It's nothing that it's not me saying he's not a good coach. I just feel like I need to see a little bit more from him.
So if this 5 was a 10, would you be okay with that?
Maybe.
Okay.
Because I still have 2 names on my list that you don't have on yours, and I find it absolutely just unreasonable.
Well, we'll go through some of these comments at the end because there was a lot of people that were very annoyed certain people were on the list. And I want your take on that. You know way more about the group of 5 than I do. But give me your last 2.
At number 5, where you have GJ Kinney, I got another one of his Texas buddies, Jeff Traylor, who's been at UTSA since 2020. He's 53 and 26.
Okay.
He's been a hot name for so many jobs within the Texas community of football, and for whatever reason, he hasn't left UTSA. UTSA has one of the toughest home environments to play in the group of 5. That's all because of Traylor.
Yeah, no, he's definitely a very good head coach. I forgot that every year you do see his name. Like I think even before they took Joey McGuire, I think Texas Tech interviewed him as well. Traylor.
Yeah, Texas Tech was looking at him, and Traylor was one of the guys that I thought should have went there. It would have been a perfect mix of coach knowing the area and school. It would have been a major success. Obviously, they were right with hiring Joey McGuire instead, but you wouldn't have went wrong with Jeff Traylor either.
Yeah, no, he does have a pretty solid. Looking now, his win percentage is solid. He's had some very good years at UTSA, 12 and 2, but back-to-back 7 and 6 years. I'm just saying, could be on the downward trend.
Yes, but we also don't forget what he's been doing. A couple of down years that happens. Look at Joe Paterno's coaching record. He had down years also, and he bounced back. Now I'm not comparing the two. I'm not saying he's Joe Paterno, but I'm just saying down years happen. A run like Nick Saban had is unprecedented. Even look at a guy we talked about earlier, Dabo Sweeney.
Mhm. Yeah, I guess that's true. I do have a guy who went 5-7 on this list last year on here. So
In his
seven.
only year of FBS coaching, by the way.
True, true. All right.
And then one more name that I cannot believe you don't have on here is Tyson Helton from Western Kentucky.
Yeah.
Another guy who's been an absolute staple of the group of five. He's done so much good for that program. He's kept them. They when they moved up from FCS, they became kind of like a model of what it should look like when you move up, right? Like they were pretty good right off the bat. Helton's done a pretty good job of maintaining that. 57-36, he's 5-2 in bowl games.
So here's the first one where I will say that was an egregious person to leave off this list. Tyson Helton
Yes.
belongs on this list. I
Thank you.
and I definitely agree he belongs on this list.
Thank you.
I kind of forgot about him though. I'm not gonna lie.
Good.
All right. So before we get into yours, I want to read some of the comments here and get your takes on them.
Okay.
So we got someone saying that Coach Blake Harrell at ECU better than all of them.
Blake Harrell is. I have a list of 5 coaches who I consider like the next in line, who they're not really ready yet. But if we're doing this list in a year's time, it would not surprise me to see on there. Blake Harrell was the first name I had written down.
Okay, so you don't think it's crazy to say that? Just maybe a little too early.
I don't even know that it's too early yet. I just think that there's better than him out there, and it's nothing against his coaching abilities. Maybe it is just a little bit too soon, but we're coming up on him certainly being close.
All right. This person, I know you're gonna be love it. Ryan Slater wins against both Mullen and Eck, 3 straight conference championships. Why is Spencer Danielson so low?
Exactly. Spencer Danielson is number 2.
Jim Mora?
Jim Mora, I originally had on my list. I took him out in favor of Charles Huff from Memphis, who was a guy who I kind of wish that I had higher. Like, I think Charles Huff is a really good coach. I think he's going to be a solid coach somewhere in the Power Four. I just couldn't, for some reason, put him higher than I have him.
Oh, I mean, I don't think it's gonna be too bad leaving Huff off of this list or so low because he's gonna be the head coach at Maryland in like a year.
I could see it.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be the head coach at Maryland.
Well, they got to do something at Maryland.
Yeah. Biscratch said, "Where is Heartline? Get out of here."
Way too soon.
Yeah, it hasn't. This person, Casey Keeler, given his history too low.
If we're encompassing history, then sure, he could be too low, but winning at the FCS level is different than winning at FBS. And that's not slander on FCS because I know somebody's going to take it that way. I'm not saying it's easy to win at North Dakota State because it's not. I'm just saying we've seen people have success at that level that couldn't have success at the level above it. It's not a knock on the football ability or coaching ability or anything. It's just the way it is.
Yeah. Last one I want. Well, 2 more I want to get to real quick, and then we'll get to your other guys on your list. So this person said Charles Kelly in his first year at Jack State. I was impressed by Jack State last year. I watched 2 of their games.
Yeah, I think he's a name to watch for sure.
And then one person that everyone in the replies seemed to have a serious issue with was why is Jamie Chadwell on here?
Because Jamie Chadwell had this is one that really aggravates me because I saw some of those responses. Jamie Chadwell had one. Yes, he had one bad year as a coach, and it just so happened to be last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're forgetting that he took liberty to damn near the college football playoff. If we had 16-team playoff just 3 years ago, he would have been there.
Yeah, he would have a playoff appearance at Liberty.
He helped Coastal Carolina so much in their ascent from FCS to FBS. You want to talk about winning? He won at Charleston Southern before that. He was a solid team there. Now he's at Liberty. Yes, they went 4-8 last year. I understand that, and they've kind of been regressing at each year. But we cannot forget what he's done there. So Chadwell should be. I have him at number 7. You have him at number 10. I wouldn't argue with either one of those. But just he's had one losing year as a coach since 2020. So come on.
A point I want to make before we get to your the 5 next guys that should be on this list. I think people who are Power 5 or like Power 4 fans, I guess now, they don't understand that at the Group of 5 level, I feel like it's every 2 years you're gonna have a bad year when your team's young. The Group of 5 is a lot different than the P5. The NLI is not the same. The NLI is not the same right now. You have to really rely on your experience and guys and make a run like every 2 years, unless you're one of the better Group of 5 programs.
Exactly. And as much as I love Group of 5 football, and I really do, being from Buffalo, I love the MAC. I love the American. But let's be honest here. You're at Liberty. You're supposed to lose to pretty much every Power 5 team out there, right?
Mhm.
So there's no shame in that. If you're losing some of those big games, it's not a knock on you as a coach. It's there is a disparity at talent there. And again, that's not an insult, but it's just a fact. That's
No,
why
it's the
we haven't
reality.
seen that's why we haven't seen a ton of the group of 5 teams be insanely successful or reach super high highs, you know?
Yeah. List here of the next 5 guys that belong on this list. So I'm interested to hear who do you think the 5 guys are we could be looking at next year on this list?
So it's not so much that these guys are the next 5 guys that should be on the list. These are the
Mhm.
guys that I think within a few years could find themselves on the list that a lot of people might not think of. We've already talked about Blake Harrell at East Carolina and the success he's had there. Same with Matt Entz at Fresno State. One of them is kind of a hot take because I think he's on the hot seat right now, and that's Zach Kittley at Florida Atlantic. I still think he's a really good coach, a really good offensive mind. I'm not sure what's going south down at FAU right now that he's not having the success I thought he would. But Kittley's a guy who, if he finds himself in the right situation, I feel like at a Texas school he would thrive.
Okay. I don't hate that.
Another one here is someone who you're not going to be surprised to have on this list after all the conversation we had last year, Ryan Carty out of Delaware.
Of
A
course.
pretty successful first year moving up. He's been at Delaware for a few years now. He's had success guiding them through a transition up to big time football. He had a good first year. Let's see if he can build on it.
I'm sold on Ryan Carty. That was a good first year. Step up. They handled it not flawlessly, but they handled it really well. They were competitive. They were a good team.
Exactly. Thank you for agreeing with that. And then my final one isn't necessarily one where I want you to go and look at the record because, he's had this phenomenal record. I just want you to look at the context of how things are going there now. How about Timmy Chang at Hawaii? Yes, he has an under 500 record. Hawaii was a dumpster fire when he got there. And he's taken his alma mater over, and they have become a very feisty, competitive team within the conference. Not only that, they beat Stanford last year. So they've
Yeah.
proven they can hang with the big boys. Timmy Chang, again, the record is not going to look that impressive. And if you look at the record, you're going to say, well, what are you talking about? Why him? Again, it's the context of what's happening and where it's happening.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point I was saying about before being realistic. Like some of these group of 5 jobs, you're really scraping together resources. You're not, it's not like Power 5 football, Power 4 football, where you have all the resources in the world, you expect to win every year. Some of these jobs, if you go 500, that's a successful year.
Yeah, and I'd like to throw one other name out there too. If we're going to talk about schools with limited resources that are just historical bad programs, another guy that if you look at the record, you're going to say he's a terrible coach, but he's not.
Oh
Chris
boy,
Creighton at Eastern Michigan. He
hand
has
up.
Eastern Michigan in contention for bowl games more often than not. That is one of the bottom feeders of the entire FBS system, and he has them decently respectable.
I thought you were gonna say Greg Schiano.
No, he's kind of next on that list.
Yeah, when you said his record and all that stuff, I was like, oh no, he's leading into Greg Schiano.
No, although that would have been the perfect time to do that. I wish I would have thought of that.
That's literally when he said that. That's what I thought you were going. When he said, "I have one more," that is so funny. Yeah, I don't have any
See, now I
problems
wish
with
I would
that
have done
list.
that.
Yeah, that was a good one. So other things that talked about. One thing I want to end on, I guess, would be, I mean, the Brendan Sorsby mess has come to an end finally. But
What a disaster. I don't think anybody came out of this looking good.
I did not think the sound would be on for that. My bad. I'll cut that out. Yeah, the Brendan Sorsby mess was just a disaster. I mean, Texas Tech could have saved themselves so much embarrassment by just doing this in the first place.
Hey, just so you know, you had our DMs up on the screen too at that point.
Oh, okay. It's fine. It's just a StreamYard link over and over.
That's fine. All right. No, yeah, I don't think anybody came out of this situation looking good. Sorsby's going to the NFL now. What do you think? His NFL draft stock? It'll be the supplemental draft. Where do you think he falls? Should he get drafted? Is there a ideal landing spot for him? What do you
He
think?
is destined to go to the New York Jets, I feel like.
See, I have another team that I feel like he'd be good for.
Now, I'll admit before you go into your team that I do not follow the NFL as closely as I follow college football. So my NFL takes may be worse than my Group of Five list.
Oh, you don't have to watch the NFL to realize that this is like hand in glove.
All right, let's hear it.
Think about it, John. Peanut butter and jelly, right? Peanut
Okay.
butter and chocolate. Okay. Things that just go good together. Notre Dame and gold helmets. They just go good together.
Okay.
Disastrous football, sideline distractions, off the field distractions,
To Cleveland
and
Browns.
the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I got there. I got there.
Is there not a better situation? Cleveland needs a quarterback. I don't want to hear about Deshaun Watson. Cleveland needs a quarterback because it sure as hell ain't Shedeur Sanders. Did anybody see that video of Sanders in practice throwing the ball into an outstretched arm of a defensive lineman? The lineman stood there and held his arm up. That's all he did. He literally was not moving. Didn't move for a solid 3 seconds, and Sanders fires a fastball right into his arm. Couldn't have been better if he did it on purpose. That's not your quarterback of the future.
Yeah, I'm going to make a proclamation here that, because I agree with you that Shedeur Sanders is not the quarterback of the future for them. If Shedeur Sanders wins 16 games between the next 2 years, I will eat an entire jar of mayo on the street in a podcast episode.
All right, please excuse me while I go order my Cleveland Browns jersey.
Every Sunday, you're going to be screaming at the TV for the Browns.
Oh, I just became a Browns fan now.
A jar of mayo, or a Sunny equivalent.
We all know that's never going to happen, though, so we don't even have to worry about that.
Yeah, just so you know, I also have a deathly fear of mayo.
Are you serious?
If there's mayo on the kitchen table, I will not sit at the table.
Okay, so we need to do something for the Duke's Mayo Bowl this year, then.
That would be like sending me to Guantanamo Bay. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I would be terrified.
All right, you can either eat a jar of mayo or you have to go to Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Give me the mayo. Give me the mayo before you send me to Vietnam.
Okay, we need to address this too. What is the hatred of Arkansas? Specifically Fayetteville you have a problem with for some reason.
One of my very close friends is a Arkansas grad.
Okay,
he lives in Fayetteville.
Okay, this makes a little more sense now.
Yeah. Shout out to Corb.
Okay, I guess that's fair.
He's the most Arkansas guy you'd ever imagine, by the way. He worked at a Bass Pro Shop all through college. I think his Facebook profile picture is him up in a deer stand. Like he's just.
Those
But
are all things I associate with Arkansas, by the way.
so
So thank
before
you
he
for
went to
beating that.
Arkansas, before he went to the University of Arkansas, he had like a family house in Arkansas, and we'd be playing video games. He'd be like, "Oh, like I'm gonna go to the well," or like he'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go into town to go get some things." Like the things he said to someone like in the north were blasphemy. Like going to the well for some water, crazy business.
Okay, but like about 5 or 10 miles from my house, they still have well water. So it's not that crazy.
I just he skewed my opinion of Arkansas forever. That's all I'm gonna say. Like he's just
Listen, we can't all be New Jersey. Thank God for that.
oh the beautiful state. I think the college football playoff should be played in New Jersey. Actually,
John, it was about 2 years ago. I was in New Jersey for a coaching clinic in Atlantic City. You know what my absolute favorite part of being in New Jersey was?
gambling.
3 days later when I left New Jersey.
Oh, well, it's not that. That's a Atlantic City is for people who don't know and they hear it's like the Vegas of the East Coast. Let me tell you, there's about like 2 nice blocks in Atlantic City, and the rest is all run down.
And I can confirm that as the truth.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
like
we went from Atlantic City to Philadelphia, where I'm like, yeah, Atlantic City ain't all that bad.
yeah. When you put it in comparison, it's not so bad.
No, not at all.
All right, before we get too off topic here, Sonny, I just want to ask you one question before we wrap things up here. If you were an NFL GM, well, I have a fit for Sorsby as well, but if you were an NFL GM, would you waste draft capital on Brendan Sorsby?
Yes.
Wow, how high?
I think it would be kind of crazy for a team in need, or maybe even a team not. If you're looking long term, if you really believe in Sorsby's value as a quarterback, even if you're a team like Kansas City or Buffalo, and I'm not advocating for that, but why not spend or risk a sixth round pick? Especially
Okay,
if you know you can keep him on the team for a year, and then what happens? Maybe you can trade him for a third. And now you just traded essentially a sixth round pick for a third round pick. So I feel like it could be worth the risk in some respects. If you're a consistent bottom tier team like Cleveland, maybe he's worth a fourth. You've done a lot worse with fourth round picks before. So I think it would be kind of crazy for a team not to at least take a shot.
yeah,
And
I agree with
and
that
that by
as
the
well.
way, coming from a pure talent perspective, the off the field issues and the drama and the distraction that it's going to bring with it, if you don't want that on your team because you think your team is good enough where that's going to ruin it, then don't even bother.
How about the Houston Gamblers?
Oh, dude, I love it.
It fits too well.
I will say though, all jokes aside, I would love to see him light up the CFL for a year or two.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
You know my love for Canadian football. I feel like he'd be a great fit up there.
Yeah, he would be a good fit up there, and you can rebuild your image too. If you have a few years where you put together like years where you're producing quality in the CFL, you stay out of trouble. This is trouble. Let's be honest. It's trouble. You should not be gambling at all. If you go repair your image for 2 years in CFL, you're still young enough you can have an okay NFL career.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. I think I would take him in like maybe the 5th round if I was one of those teams. I don't think you could waste a fourth anymore on a guy that may not ever play.
I don't think that's too outrageous, but again, if you're a team like Cleveland, what do you have to lose?
True. I mean, you throw a dart at the wall and hope it sticks.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I think our next episode will be next Monday, if that works for you, the 29th. And, or you can even record on the weekend because I'm off next weekend.
Yeah, we can do that. I do have one more thing before we go, though, that I would
Okay.
like to throw out there. So I'd like to address something here because it's been brought to my attention that maybe over the course of last week and just us doing this podcast in general, maybe I've been a little stiff to USC, right?
Whoa.
I said last week that Lincoln Riley will never win a national championship at USC, right? You remember that?
Yep.
And I've been doing some thinking and reflecting about this, and I'd like to change my tune a little bit.
All right.
And it's now not never, but it's never say never. Because upon thinking about Lincoln Riley and the resources he has, it's come to my mind that maybe on July 9th, he can go buy College Football 27 from his local GameStop, at which point he will have an excellent chance at winning a national championship. And that's what he's going to need to do if he ever wants to hold a national championship.
That is so legendary.
So I would like to publicly apologize to UFC or USC for my recent transgressions. I deeply apologize. And I would also like to thank or say thank you to my good friend Bianca for bringing this to my attention.
Yeah, thank you, Bianca. And so that reminded me of the Conor McGregor video where he said, "I'd like to take this time to apologize to absolutely no one," and then just double down.
It's not doubling down. I am admitting that I was wrong in this conversation. Lincoln Riley can win a national championship. It's just never going to be a real one.
It's gonna be like the Jimbo Fisher one where they gave him the blank trophy and he just sat in his office for a few years at Texas A&M.
Oh my God! Not only did they give Jimbo Fisher a blank national championship trophy, it was the FCS trophy.
Oh,
It
no
wasn't
way.
even the one he was trying. Dude, go back and look. It wasn't even the one he was trying to win. They gave him the FCS plaque.
That's crazy.
Is that not like just that told you how everything was going to go there?
Yeah, no, that was disaster from the start. All right, well, I said we'll be back next weekend to record another episode, and thank you guys for listening.